Welcome to day 8 of our 30-day meditation journey together. As most of you have hopefully come to realize by now, is that every concept and every thought is kind of like painting a picture of reality that is not true. So if we understand this, we should also understand that these thoughts should not be taken very seriously. The mind can be a very effective tool when it's used in the right way for the right purpose. But when we try to use our mind to describe a certain situation or describe who we are, who's to blame, what's wrong with a situation, that's when the mind is really not working for us, but rather dragging us deeper into a delusion. An example, a very simple example of when the mind is used correctly is if you, for example, have a nail that you want to hammer into the wall. Your mind is going to find a solution to grab a hammer instead of trying to hammer the nail with your fist. Now, this might not be the best example, as it seems so natural for us to choose the right tool for the right job. But that's an example where the mind is working correctly. An example of where the mind is not working correctly that many people for sure can relate with is in traffic when one is driving and something happens that the mind is not very pleased with. A certain anger, rage, or frustration may flare up, sometimes even screaming might be a reaction to these initial thoughts and feelings. Some people may even start driving more aggressively to prove their point, actually causing a very dangerous situation by their actions and reactions. And when this mind and emotion and reaction is taken too seriously and believed in as the ultimate truth of what has happened, who's to blame, and so forth, then the mind is really not working in our favor. Some human beings can even stay submerged in their made up reality of what has happened for much longer than a few minutes, maybe hours, maybe days. Some people will still discuss a situation that happened to them 3 or 4 weeks ago in traffic. If if we take our mind too seriously, we will be living in the midst of this delusion for as long as our attention and our belief is directed towards these thoughts. Let's do a short exercise. Sit down comfortably. Close your eyes. Breathe a few times and be fully present with your breath, not giving any attention to any thought, just focusing on the breath. Today, I want to do an easy approach into inquiring who we truly are, a direct approach might seem very difficult for most people. So to start with, we will begin by discovering what we are not. We have already noticed and practiced putting our attention on the breath, meaning we are aware of our breath, this means that we cannot ultimately be the breath. The breath is a function, very vital function to keep our body alive, our physical dimension. So, our breath, we are not. We have also been scanning through the body and being aware of our body, not us, but our body. This might seem like a big obstacle for many people, as there's a tendency to relate to the body as ourselves. But when you're giving it some attention, you must realize that there is something else than just the body. There is something deeper. There is something more true to you, an awareness, a consciousness, an intelligence that is more truly yourself. Now, the body is a very vital part for us being able to experience life in the way we do. But ultimately, as just a dead body, we can clearly see that we are not just the body. There's something else here. We observed our mind and we have been discussing our mind now. Our mind, not us. Meaning there is something being aware of thoughts and the mind's activities. We also notice that the thoughts cannot stay alive without us paying attention to them. The thoughts come and go, yet something remains, observing those thoughts coming and going. Our thoughts, we are not. If we wish to break down even some of the concepts holding us hostage and causing suffering in our life, it is highly recommended to do some self-inquiry and, as said in the beginning, it might be easier to realize what you are not. A very simple exercise you can do to get some freedom from the concepts dragging you down and holding you back from discovering your true self is to, in the evening, before going to sleep, going through things that you are not. As an example, you can start by noticing things such as, I am not my hair. You're still here without your hair. I am not my makeup. I am not my thoughts. I am not the stress that's being experienced. And so forth. And I'm not saying this is something you have to do. It's an exercise that is very effective, and if you feel like it, if it comes naturally, then I encourage to try it out. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank yourselves so very much for taking this time for yourself. Thank you. Namaste.